Boys and girls, ladies and gents, welcome to another episode of Clutch Conversations. It's your boy Mike. We back at you one more again, live on a Thursday night, man. I hope everybody's feeling all right. For those of y'all traveling to Tinley, man, safe travels, man. I hope y'all have a fantastic weekend this weekend, man. Y'all look at some snakes, take some pictures, man. Have a good time, man. First and foremost, I want to shout out to my lovely wife, Takara. Appreciate everything you do. Y'all make sure y'all show us some love in the comments and don't stop there. Do us a solid and show the channel some love too. Hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And everybody make sure you smash that notification bell so you can get notifications every time we drop a video here on the channel. Shout out to the audio only gang. Audio recordings of Clutch Conversations are available on all major podcasting platforms. That's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Definitely when you're checking us out on your favorite podcasting platform, please follow, rate, and review. Really helps us out. We really appreciate the feedback. We really appreciate the support. Speaking of support, if you're involved in this reptile hobby in any shape, form, or fashion, make sure you're supporting both USARK and USARK Florida. The links for both organizations are in the description of this video. If you're not a member, go grab your membership. If you're able to donate, please donate what you can. And be sure to spread the word about both these organizations that help protect our rights as reptile keepers. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. We're going to do a quick shout out to the sponsors and pay some bills, and then we'll be back in just a second. Big dreams start in small towns. Small Town Xotics is a family-ran business that specializes in high-quality ball python morphs, western hognoses, and select leopard geckos. They are proud members of USARK, USARK Florida, and the Orient Society. Stay connected with Small Town Xotics on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Witness their journey as they grow their business and showcase their animals to the world. Thank you, Small Town Xotics, for sponsoring the show. Art comes in many forms. At Armless Angels, it comes to life. Shane, Justin, appreciate it, man. Really appreciate the support, man. Really appreciate y'all having faith in the team and everything you do. Let's see who we got in the comments tonight. 352 in the building. What's good? What's up, bro? Thanks for coming out. Appreciate the support. Sammy, what's good, bro? Thanks for coming out. Appreciate the support. Eric's More Factory in the building. What's good, bro? Thanks for coming out. Appreciate the support. Holly, what up, what up, what up, what up? Appreciate you coming out. Thank you for the support. The Sultan of Support himself, showing love to me and wifey. What's good, Kike? Thank you for coming out, bro. Appreciate the support. Prophecy, Xotics, what's good, bro? Thanks for coming out. Big Ro in the building. What's good, homie? Thanks for coming out. Pressure P in the building. What's good, bro? Thanks for coming out. Appreciate the support, man. Make sure you take a look at that ankle, man. Get it checked out, man. Take care of yourself, bro. Good seeing you. The homie Big Wiz in the building again. Wiz Tang Clan, you already know. Appreciate you coming out, man. Appreciate the support, man. If you're not checking out the Wiz Tang Clan Patreon, you're slipping. Make sure you go jump on that. Make sure you go jump on the V Unit too, the subscriber group on IG, man. Check out the suspects. Man, check us all out, man. Doing big things, man. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the family. Appreciate the support. Greg, what's good, brother? Thanks for coming out. Morph Master J, what's good, Johnny? Appreciate you coming out. see who else we got. Scales, fins, and feathers. What's good? Thanks for coming out. Got the homie Dun Dada in the building, Uptown Exotics. We're gonna stop it right there. Appreciate you coming out, fam. Appreciate the support. We're gonna kick the intro and then we'll be right back with the show.
Baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead, just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up. Spit this cool.
Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this?
Episode 85, Amos, Reptiles. What's good, bro? How's it going?
Good. How about you?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good, man. Really appreciate you jumping on with us tonight. Especially considering your circumstances, man. Headed to Tinley.
Yeah, on the road.
Cool. So you got how much longer you got of a drive?
About 9 more hours.
9 more hours. And so you're gonna sit up first thing tomorrow?
Yeah. I'll stop somewhere in a few hours and pick back up in the morning.
Okay. And so you always drive by yourself or?
No, sometimes my girl comes with me.
Okay. Cool, man.
She's been on a trip. She just got home.
Gotcha. So real quick, man, before we get too deep into it, so for anybody who may not know, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do.
I'm Jason Amos. We breed ball pythons. I like to do a lot of recessive, double recessive, triple recessive stuff. And I like a lot of strangers. Stranger to me is one of the best new things out there. It's come down in price, but I still like what it does a lot.
Nice. So how long have you been doing ball pythons?
I started collecting them probably 2005-06, and then we had our first clutch in 2009. Back it was just lessers and normals back then, but it's been a good hobby. It turned into more than a hobby.
So at what point did it start like becoming more than a hobby? Was that pretty early on after you started breeding, or did that take a few years?
It took a few years, and then I started investing in more higher end males, and it started being a better investment. And the more you invest, the better you can do. Kind of, it's the same work to take care of a $50 snake as it is a $5,000 snake. So we just did it as a hobby for a long time. I kept my job until last year, and then just started doing it full time, or still kind of just part time. But
so you say since 05. So talk a little bit about like kind of what the industry or the hobby looked like back then, and kind of talk about your development in it, how you learned things and stuff like that.
In like when I first started looking at ball pythons, I had boas before, and I just couldn't afford any of the ball pythons back then. Mojaves were $20,000, and lessers were $25,000, and pastels were $10,000, and there really wasn't nothing that was cheap except for normals. Albinos were expensive. Everything was expensive back then, and there was pretty boas that were cheaper, so I went the boa route for a little while, but I didn't really have any success breeding those. Kept them for a few years, and then realized how big they were going to get and how I was going to house all these giant adults became not very appealing in a condo. So I kind of switched over to ball pythons and started having more luck with getting clutches and actually producing babies. And then more other snakes went out. I had a lot of different pet snakes and more room for more ball pythons, and eventually it just became all ball pythons.
Gotcha. So your first clutches, were they successful, or did you kind of like go through a few and kind of take some lumps along the way?
With the ball pythons, the first ones were successful. The first time I bought a lesser boy in 2008, and it was probably $1,500 or $1,200 then. And so the next year in 2009, when I had my first clutch, he was an older boy, so I paid a little bit more. The first year I bred them to 2 normal females. They both laid eggs. They laid like 6 and 7 eggs. I made 7 lessers, and I sold them for $600 each. And it seemed like not too bad. I picked up a few more normals, and the next year I bred the same boy to 8 normal females and got 7 clutches with 67 eggs and made 35 lessers and sold them for $500 each. And so that was a pretty good return on a $1,200 boy and
For sure.
8 $200 girls, so I had spent some other money on some nicer baby females. And back then I wanted stuff to eat frozen and they wanted to eat live, and a couple years went by and they really didn't get any size on them and really didn't do much for me. Really the lesser boy and them normal girls really started everything moving and going, giving me ideas. That's when I decided, well, what if I would have, instead of spending $1,200 on a boy, what if I bought a $5,000 boy? Would the babies have been 5 times as much when I sold them? And so I upgraded boys steadily the next few years, and each time I got a more expensive boy, the babies followed along and brought back a better return. And then eventually a friend of mine, I got the opportunity to breed a banana male when they were about 50,000. It was actually one of the first generation male makers. Actually the second generation male maker. I didn't know it was going to be a male maker when we got it. They knew that they were making all males with the males that first year, but they didn't tell anybody. One of my buddies, he got a boy that came from a boy, but that was back when everybody thought that boys could only make girls. But he ended up making like 26 boys and 1 girl with that one. And a few people got him that year and didn't tell anybody that they were all making boys. So were all selling boys to people for 50,000, not letting them know how many boys they were really making and selling.
Oh, wow.
But that was how the male makers finally started. And then they just blew up from there. And boys making boys, really. But the banana was a good project, and they sold rather well, and they sold well for me every year until now. I'm still taking a bunch of banana clown pieds and stuff to Tinley with me now. So banana's been a staple all these years. Prices might have went down. You might be able to get one for $150 or something, but you can still do a lot with it. You can still make combos that are still worth more. This market back then, when GHI and banana went down, it kind of brought the whole market down, kind of like it's doing now. So I've been through all this before, and it'll come back. It'll get better. Prices on certain mutations won't recover, but there'll be new combos. There'll be new genetics. There'll be new stuff that come and take the place of the high price stuff and the medium price stuff. It all just keeps going.
So speaking of the cyclical nature of it, like kind of like in the cycle that we are in now and other times when it kind of like went down, like do you notice some similarities? Do you notice some differences? Is it all basically exactly the same? What are your thoughts on that?
It seems pretty similar. You know, last time when the housing market kind of crashed and went down, the ball pythons kind of went up and peaked a little bit and kind of took a few years to get onto the rest of the economy being kind of crappy and not doing too much. It was kind of a delayed reaction for the ball python market. It didn't really hit them until like 2014. And it kind of seems the same way with COVID. When the rest of the economy wasn't doing very good, ball pythons actually spiked and went up in price, and are now coming back down in a kind of a delayed, but same thing. Prices on everything pretty much dropped. You just had to roll with it and find a new line, find a new project, find something to keep going. A lot of people got out and disappeared. New people got in after that. I see the same thing happening ever since before I got in, and the whole time I've been in, people been complaining that it can't be sustained. The ball python market's going to crash. Since 2009, I've been hearing this.
And here we are.
Yeah, we're still doing it. There's still new combos to make. There's still new people getting in. I don't think it's going anywhere.
Cool. So if you had to give someone like some tips in terms of like how to get through like a down market, so to speak, like what would be like maybe your top 3 tips? I know obviously sticking with it, but go a little bit deeper than that.
I mean, probably clean up your collection. You don't need to be making as many $200 snakes and pet snakes and things that are super common. Try to take it in your own direction and make something that people are going to know you for, know to come to you for, something different.
Cool. All right. So backing up a little bit, like when you were initially building your collection, let's talk about your mindset. Like, was it a project-based mindset? Were you thinking in terms of projects, or were you just really just trying to pick up like those powerful males to kind of like get a lot of genes kind of going? Like
at the beginning back then, it was really a lot of people, it was all about the codoms and buying a codom and making more of them, making combos, or just making more of them and selling them. And a lot of people told me recessive, and I didn't really listen. Clowns and pieds were expensive back then. It just seemed like it took so long to get them up to size and just make hets, and such a long process that I didn't start it until way late, and I didn't listen. And then when that market crash came and prices adjusted and the codom prices were, things I bought for $50,000 were $250, you know, other people had put it into clowns and pieds, and banana clowns were still $2,000-$3,000, and banana pieds were still expensive. And I knew I messed up and didn't do that. So I started adding double recessive things and trying to catch up, not just starting at the beginning, but trying to do doubles and trying to plan doubles that could go to doubles to go to triples and quads.
nice.
So, yeah,
So let's talk about the projects that you're currently working. Like, what are your staple projects, would you say?
I mean, I set up a lot of clown pied to be a base of stuff, and then trying to work like hypoexanthic and ultramel hypo and different other different color recessives into there, along with codoms at the same time. I have some friends that only work double recessives and they don't want to put codoms in it, and I think there's room for both. It kind of needs to be all together.
I would agree with that.
This year I don't have a very big collection. I don't have that many clutches, so I only have 1 or 2 chances to hit different things. But I've been lucky this year. I had 1 chance to hit a few different things, and I hit some pretty nice boys. I needed new boys for the multi-recessive projects, and seems to be doing. Hopefully I hit some of them. I need to have some of them tested for hypo to see if they're hypo or not, or if they're het hypo, when you get so many dang genes in there, it starts getting confusing. But I think I hit a hypoexanthic clown with some
nice.
disco and Mojave or something in there. But it looks hypo to me, but I want to make sure that it's really hypo and see what it is.
That one was a male?
Yeah, that one's a male.
Oh, nice.
I hit the one that I called the cyborg. I had to name
what's
it since
all
it's
in the
got so many
cyborg?
different things. So I think it's Orange Dream Fire, Hurricane, GHI Mystic, Exanthic Clown.
Okay.
So there's like 5 genes, I think. I'm going to have it tested just to see.
And so what
when I
led to
breed
you
it,
naming it cyborg?
I was just looking for a silver something, you know. I've seen Justin and some people name some projects that I don't think would have had the legs that they ended up having. I don't think Batman would have been a project that lasted 5 or 7 years. Everybody being excited about it for that long without the name. I don't think so many people would have said, I'm in the Leopard Spot Nose project and been as thrilled about it. So I think a name can help. I've made a lot of world's first combos and never made anything, but I figured this one was cool enough to come up with something.
How about the Leopard Spot Nose project?
You know, if you had to explain it, it just doesn't sound as cool. Pompeii, I don't think people would be trying to copy the Pompeii exactly without that name. If you had to rattle off the 4 genes that were in it,
yeah, that's a mouthful.
It wouldn't just, people would still like it, but they wouldn't copy it as easy or try to go for it. You couldn't just say a Pompeii maker. You'd have to say all that stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely a mouthful. Pompeii is much easier to say.
Yeah.
And so you've been working Stranger for a while too, right?
Yeah, I got Stranger in 2019. I tried to get it like 3 or 4 years before that, but he started only selling girls, and I really don't like spending that much money on a girl that long and being the only gene in that investment or in that thing and waiting so long to get the return or anything else going. I really like investing in the boys, and so I waited until I could get a boy. Roland told me that he'd sell a boy as soon as people over here that he sold females to started producing clutches and making their own boys. So in 2018, a couple people had clutches here, and in 2019 they had clutches again. So he sent me a boy, and I did pretty well with it.
So what all are you working Stranger in, and what are some of your plans?
Since with Banana, I knew I made the mistake of not putting in recessive stuff. The first thing I wanted to do with Stranger was put it in more recessive stuff. So I got the Het Clown, and I made clowns right away. But I put it to Het females and made possible hets and held stuff back. I put it to what visuals I could. But a lot of stuff was actually just breeding it to double het hypopied females and double het lavender exanthic females and holding back the possible triple hets and stuff. And at Tinley, I'll have a bunch of different Stranger clowns. I have Stranger lavenders. I have Stranger hypos. I have Stranger exanthic.
Oh, nice.
A bunch of Stranger stuff. Stranger hypo clowns.
Are you in VPI?
Yeah. So my boy proved to be double het lavender exanthic. So next year, hopefully I can make some lavender snow Strangers. And I got a real cool boy that I hatched out that I think is like an Orange Dream Fire Hurricane Stranger clown. That's
nice.
Pos het exanthic. He's 50% het exanthic, or 66. His mom was 50%, but I didn't hatch any, but it was a small clutch. So hopefully he proves het exanthic, and I can make some Stranger exanthic clowns. Would be high on the list. I have some Stranger clown pied.
Yet, right?
No. My buddy made Stranger clown pied, and it looked real good. It had the Stranger clown head and everything on it, and a cool pattern.
Okay.
So that was nice one. And yeah, I just picked up a stranger with Desert Ghost in it, since I wasn't able to make any of those. But yeah, stranger, recessive, everything, and then put them together. And I still don't know about a super stranger. I didn't go for it. I had a couple of stranger girls go this year, but I went for other things. We'll see what the super stranger really is. I'm not sure. I have some that look like the super strangers Justin made, but they're not supers. They can't be. So I don't really know. The project has some crazy stuff going on. I think there's Het Monsoon floating around in mine. I don't know if there's something else going on. The stranger siblings look crazy.
Oh, really?
Things I want to call strangers. You look at it and go, that's got to be a stranger. And then the real stranger one hatches, and you're like, oh, damn, that's not a stranger. But what the hell is it? It's not just a pastel. But even just normals have stranger. When I first got it, I'd label stuff as a stranger, and then after a shed or two, I'd realize and take it out and put it next to other strangers and be like, oh, I messed up. And I had to contact Roland and ask him about it, and he said he gets the same thing. And back then he was holding on to them to see what they were going to make. But I don't know if those are Het Monsoon stuff, or I don't know what's going on with that yet.
Yeah, I wonder if he's like crossed them yet, just to see what pops out.
Yeah, I don't know if he's bred the weird ones to the weird ones or not. But I know somebody, I've seen several people list and sell the weird ones as strangers, and I've had to tell a bunch of people that I sold stuff to, and teach them about what I've seen from them. But I know one person that bought one, and the breeder didn't want to listen, and they ended up breeding it the next year, and they didn't produce any strangers, but they produced a bunch of weird ones like the parent. So I don't really know. There could be more than one gene going on there. Somehow he found the stranger, made itself, and then he found Moray in the same project, and who knows, maybe there's another gene floating in there. I don't know how you get so lucky, but
yeah, that's wild.
I'm hoping to latch onto that Het Moray train, and hopefully my first male proves out to have carried the Het Moray over to a bunch of my girls.
Yeah, that'll be nice. That'll be really, really nice. So do you like you favor darker genes, or do you have a preference? Because I noticed you got like a lot of dark stuff.
The dark stuff intensifies the color, so I like colorful stuff, but it takes the dark stuff to really make a pop. So I do like both. I like bright stuff, but I like dark stuff also. And I like using the bright stuff to make the dark stuff pop.
Gotcha. Yeah, like I see you working with like some nice acid stuff and all that. Like I definitely like all those genes.
Yeah, everybody is lately. It seems like they were doing a lot of bright stuff, red stripe, yellow belly, bright clown stuff, and then black pastel in there is what really makes it them deep colors and stuff. And Justin's taken out that black pastel and replace it with chocolate, or replace it with stranger, or replace it. So I've been building the dark stuff to, then I'll bring more highlighter stuff, but then you can bring more colors, ultramel and different stuff, and you're just left with a lot more intensity in the colors, and instead of just having the brightening genes.
Are you working ultramel?
Yeah, I have some. I had my first clutch from my quad het hypo ultramel clown pieds this year, and I think I hit an inchy hypo ultramel clown, but I'll have to have it tested and see. The hypo ultramels aren't that big of a difference, and I don't have a second one to compare it to, and I haven't found anybody that's made them that has another one, an inchy hypo ultramel or an inchy ultramel clown, that I can compare it to. But it looks good, and it's at least 66% het pied and hypo if it's not visual hypo. So yeah, I have some more girls. Hopefully he proves out to be the triple recessive and het pied, and I can breed them back to the quads and try to hit that quad. It's funny, the day I got the eggs for that clutch was the day that the first one was hatched. that they hit the first ultramel hypo clown pied. And then while the eggs were cooking, like 2 more people hit it. I think Ozzy hit one, Ralph hit one,
Yeah.
Ralph's helper hit one, a bunch of people hit one. I'm like, geez. But at least I got a pretty good boy there. What else? Last year I missed the hypo clown pied. This year I hit a hypo clown pied, but it had Mojave in it, so it's pretty high white. But it's still a neat looking snake. And it's a boy. I brought it with me to Tinley. I made another lavender xanthic pied. They're actually really good looking. Everybody doesn't realize how good looking they are. As an adult, I think it's better looking than the dreamsicle. It's yellow instead of orange on the saddles, but they're really bright, and they've got a lot of pattern inside them. It doesn't lose the definition. You can still see the purple pattern and stuff in it, where the dreamsicle kind of just gets orange and hazy.
Nice, nice.
It's kind of an overlooked project. A lot of people forget about lavender snow, and they see the lavender snow pied as a baby, and they're like, well, I like the dreamsicle better, but they haven't seen them as an adult.
Gotcha. Lavender is one of those genes that I like too, but I only got so much room. And so like, I'm trying to like limit the amount of projects I'm getting in right now and just kind of like stick with what I'm doing. I'll probably add like 1 more project, but I am trying to like be disciplined and not take on too much right now. And then just kind of deal with what I got. And then maybe in the future, like as things kind of like progress, I'll start investing in some more projects too. But lavender is a dope. I really like that.
Yeah, and then for ultramel, I picked up a puzzle head ultramel and a couple of double head girls, and I'll probably run him to some of the ultramel girls that I got and just make some more ultramel heads for that. The ultramel puzzle was really nice. Yeah, I don't have much puzzle stuff, just those ones, but it's a start. And the ultramel puzzle was really nice. I got a nice, huge hypo ultramel girl. I'll probably put him too and make some ultramel double heads for that and see where else it goes. I'm not big with the puzzle with the clown and the pied stuff, though. Probably just more colors.
Yeah, I haven't seen a puzzle. I haven't seen a puzzle pied, I don't think. And I haven't seen a clown puzzle yet that like I was just like over the moon about. But I mean,
no, I could hardly tell on the maybe in person it looks better than the pictures, maybe, but it just didn't seem like they fight like genetic stripe and clown fight, so it really changes it. Seemed like the puzzle clown just looked like a little bit darker of a clown. And I think Barry Swoop, I think he made the hypo puzzle pieds last year. He just happened to have some het pieds in there, and they were really high white, and they just had like a whiter eye stripe. Okay. Hopefully with some more pattern, if you can hit some that aren't as high white and it can jack up that pattern some, it'd be cool.
Bear's got some nice puzzle stuff, and maybe there's something out there that kind of like unlocks like the clown puzzle project.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of
you never know until you try.
Exactly. So how long have you been vending Tinley?
Just a couple times since I came out here. I've sublet some tables. They don't want to give ball python breeders tables anymore, I guess. So we'll see if I can get one. It's been hard getting one. I finally got a table at Arlington, but I've heard from some of these other show promoters I can't get in either, just because I have ball pythons.
Oh wow, hating on the ball pythons.
Yeah. Reptilian Nation told me they won't put me on no waiting list or nothing.
Oh wow. And you've in Schaumburg too, right?
Yeah, I did Schaumburg and St. Louis.
Okay.
We're trying to do all the NARBC ones so they see that I'll support them and do the shows that aren't so good if they'll let me do the show that is good, because there's a lot of people that do Tinley that only do Tinley. I know a lot of people that want to do Tinley that never been to Tinley, but I've been going for the last 10 years, pretty much every October Tinley, just to support and be there. And hang out. But since I wasn't vending, the promoters and people didn't really know who I was.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I'm gonna do a real quick sponsor shout out because I know you got to get out of here. So I definitely want to make sure I get this sponsor video played. So we'll be right back in just a second.
Sounds good.
Peace and love, family. We invite you into the heart of our serenity, Ancestral Royal Pythons. At Ancestral Royal Pythons, we're not just breeders, we're nurturers of love and growth. Each of our high-end ball pythons is a tribute to the grandeur of the natural world and our dedication to quality. Reach out today and bring one of our creations into your home. This is Ancestral Royal Pythons. Your journey begins here.
Here's to the exciting world of Ebony and Ivory reptiles. From unforgettable parties and events to keeping and hatching some of the dopest reptiles in the reptile hobby, we're all about education, quality, integrity, and respect. Hit us up and see how we can help make your next project a reality. Experience Ebony and Ivory reptiles, where fascination meets fun.
Ebony and Ivory reptiles.
Tired?
Well,
Got a long drive too, man. I really appreciate you being a trooper and sticking through it.
oh yeah, no problem.
And is there anybody helping you, Vin?
I'm vending next to my friend Yeti and some other friends.
Okay, gotcha. So you can walk away from
It's
the
good
table
to-
if you need to. They can.
Yeah, it's good to set up with people that you're friends with and you can help each other.
Do you always vend with your friends or not?
If possible. Yeah. Usually at Arlington, we have a good group of people there. My friends Lindsay and Tom Noble are good, so we have an end cap there, and I've been with Yeti at a few of them.
Gotcha. You say Yeti?
Yeah, Yeti's morphs.
Okay. I think I seen that. In fact, I think I saw on IG like you posted up at a show and y'all had like tables that were like right by each other.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it good. Have somebody next to you you can trust, and you can get away from the table for a minute.
Have the shows been pretty good for you lately?
Not really. But shows are more, I don't really care. The shows are for marketing more than for sales. Some people count on the shows for sales, but most of my sales are internet sales, and shows are fun. Shows are good. I wish it was like old stories I hear, but these days haven't been the best, but it's worth doing.
Gotcha. What are some of those stories? You mean like in terms of how busy it was, or do you mean like
Oh yeah. People's tables, getting people coming up and buying their whole tables and
oh,
selling
nice.
out the first day of the show, going home the second day.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. For the stuff I bring, it'd be nice if somebody wanted the whole table.
Yeah, that'd be nice, man. That'd be real nice.
But
And so
yeah,
so
right.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, so
Right
you
now,
said
it's a tough market. Everybody's not really buying the pet stuff so much, so it's hard for people with the lower stuff to buy the more expensive stuff. That's usually the money needs to get kind of funneled up the chain.
Gotcha. And so you say you're doing mostly internet sales. Like, what are you doing in terms of marketing? Like, or is it just people know your name and they generally?
I mean, people know me for a long time. I do Morph Market mostly. That's where most of the stuff is. I've got a little ad on World of Ball Pythons, or a little banner, and mostly it's a lot of just talking to people and selling them on stuff, selling them why it's a good idea, why I think it's a good idea, why I did it, and what I think would be good for them. You know, it's not just putting it on Morph Market and sitting there and waiting for somebody to call you. You've got to go out there and get online and talk to people, and just be around.
I imagine you have a lot of repeat customers too, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's once people get to, once I've helped them and talked to them for so long, they usually come back.
Gotcha. And you have any good stories about like a customer experience or something like that? Like maybe someone was unhappy and you were able to make it right or something like that.
I mean, you just never know. A lot of people are quick to jump on customers. I've had customers that didn't follow through on payment plans and didn't do what they were supposed to. And, I wanted to tell them off and tell them what I really thought. I didn't really believe their excuses and stuff, but I just left it alone and didn't blast them online, didn't do that to have them turn around a few years later, call up and buy things that were way more expensive with cash, no payments, no nothing, right out the gate. And if I would have told them off and told them what I really thought, or blasted them online and told everybody how they didn't follow through with their payment plan, I would have never got them other sales. So
Absolutely.
just
Yeah,
treat everybody
stuff like
right. You don't have to go online and scream about every little thing that happens.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing to gain from stuff like that. Like I'd rather like just be a professional, give good customer service, treat people how you want to be treated, and then it'll come back to you. So.
Yeah. Sometimes it don't work out. Move on, go to the next one.
Exactly.
Don't dwell on the stuff. Don't dwell on the bad stuff. Just
exactly.
go
That's
with the
part
positive.
of it. Exactly. 100%, bro. So I know you got to get back on the road soon. So we're gonna wrap up kind of early here tonight. But before I let you get out of here, because I know you got a long drive left, I do want to ask you some wrap up questions. And so the first one is, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Right now, probably where I'm at. We had the chance to pick where we went a couple of years ago, and we studied around, and we picked Oklahoma. We liked the being out away from everybody, and we got some property and pretty happy here for the last year. So I don't think we want to go anywhere.
Nice. So if you won $10 million tomorrow, so there was a $10 million door prize at 10 and you won it, how would you use it?
Probably help a few of my family members get houses, and
Nice.
just put the rest of it away for retirement. So when I'm done, when I want to slow down, I can slow down.
Nice. And then last one, if you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Probably just some of my relatives that have passed. I have a couple of sisters that passed and a grandfather.
Gotcha. What's one question you would ask?
How they're doing. Are they happy? No.
Nice.
Yeah. But
nice.
It's been a good one. We can do this again if you want to.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get you when you not on the road. So before you get out
we'll do it at the facility. We can look around.
Yeah, for sure. See some snakes. So before we let you get out of here, make sure you tell everybody where they can find you online and all that good stuff.
Pretty much on Instagram and on Facebook at Jason Amos Reptiles. Keep everything on Morph Market. It's not always fully updated, so if you're looking for something, feel free to hit me up. If I don't have it, I usually know where to get it or who would be a good person to go to for it.
Cool, man. Well, again, man, I appreciate you coming out tonight, man. It's been dope. Definitely have safe travels. Hope you have a good show. I hope somebody come up to you on the first day and buy the whole table, and you can just hang out with your homies for the rest of the weekend.
They can have the displays and everything if they want them.
Nice, man. To everybody in the chat, man, I really appreciate y'all coming out. To all my folks traveling to Tinley, y'all definitely have safe travels, man. Y'all have a blast, man. I wish I could be there. Hopefully we can get out there to Tinley soon. But definitely, man, appreciate it. Shout out to everyone catching the replay. Shout out to the audio only game, man. We're gonna get out of here. Really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for coming out. Be blessed. Peace.